Do you have a dream, or do you have meaning, or do you have purpose, or do you establish goals for yourself, or do you have any regrets? Well, these are just a few questions that I want to ask you as we go on through this episode. But if you want to change your life, you're going to want to listen to this entire episode that we have right now. So if you're ready, let's do this. So I asked those questions earlier because these are questions that you don't normally ask yourself. The most important thing here for anyone to change their life is to, number one, to find meaning. What's your reason why you wake up every day? If you want to make a change, you want to spend some time to figure out what you want most in your life. What you really want the most, the absolute highest and the best. What you want to accomplish in life when all is said and done. What are your dreams and aspirations, and what actually brings you joy every day? Because there will be highs and lows when it comes to your happiness and such, but what really brings you happiness? Is it something, or a fulfillment, or being around with someone? Is it being able to travel? I don't know what it is. Everyone has different explanations or definition of what happiness is, but definitely it's not things. That's a low purpose. So you gotta have a higher sense of joy for yourself. Your sense of purpose in life is something that provides you guidance in how you wish to conduct the way that you live. First things first, find your meaning. What do you want to do? The next thing you want to ask yourself is this: what are your dreams? And it's not about, what your dreams are at night, like you lost your tooth, or, you ran over something, or you saw a snake. That's not. It's dreaming. This is an actual dream that you're alive, that you're living it. We used to daydream all the time as we were kids. Remember when you were in school, grade 3 perhaps, and you pretended you were listening, but in fact you were daydreaming about being somewhere or doing something. And then as you grow older, those daydreaming suddenly it's gone. It's because life happens to us. We get a dose of what reality is. It's not perfect. Imagining how we could improve our lives is a dream, to make our lives better. We believe that anything could happen as a kid, and we lost our ability to dream as we grew older. And it's just natural because, life is giving us punches. We're trying to roll with it. Allow yourself to be able to dream again. Sit down for a moment and see yourself in the near future. What do you see yourself doing in the near future? What do you want for yourself? Even if you think that it's impossible, have a dream for yourself, because if you know what your dreams are, it'll give you a sense of purpose, which we talked about earlier. The next thing I want to talk to you about as a question for yourself is that, have you established any goals for yourself? Okay, everyone has a goal. Most people, they say, I want to become rich. I want to become strong or wealthy or fit. It's a goal, but it's not specific though. You need to take action and set your goals for the long term, meaning not short-term gratification or instant gratification, but towards long-term gratification. With long-term goals, of course, you have to have short-term goals as well that lead up to your real goal. For example, let's say you want to lose 50 pounds. Of course, you're not going to lose 50 pounds right away. You start with 5 in a month, another 5, maybe 3 in the next, and so on and so forth, until you reach your actual goal. It gives you a sense of being able to do your goals one by one, because you can't check off a big goal by not taking off a smaller goal. It helps you determine what is important in your life and what your ideal life should be like in the long run. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, leave a comment in the comment section down below. But by pursuing these small goals that lead to a bigger goal, you'll be able to transform your life. I would guarantee you that. Next thing is, if you want to really change your life, please stop regretting. Let go of regrets. I just had a conversation a while ago with one of my students, and he always said to me that he regrets not taking this course when he was still in college, because this is what he's doing now. It's completely different from what he took. And I said, regrets will only keep you from moving forward in life. Don't have any more regrets, because the past is something you cannot change. You can't change anymore. What you can change is your current status now. You'll miss out on what it is in the present and on the future if you spend just all your time having regrets and fretting around with regard to what could have been. You spend all your time dwelling about the past, and it's useless. Dwelling about the past is useless. You can't go back in time and change what you did and what you didn't do. So just let it go. Like I always say, you can't go back to the future. That movie when he went back to the future, to the past technically, and he tried to change everything, but turns out it affects the future. Whatever you're doing now in the present will affect your future. So do things now that your future self will be thankful for. I know you've heard that before already, right? Next thing you have to ask yourself if you want to change your life is that, are you taking enough risk? Are you taking enough risk to do something that actually scares you? When was the last thing you did something that scared you in life? Let me know in the comment section. Is there anything that you did recently that felt like, this is not something I'm used to doing. This is uncomfortable for me, but I like it because I'm learning. It's all about you deciding to venture outside of what we call your comfort zone, wherever you're comfortable in, and look at the constraints in the new life. Remember, when you sleep in your own bed, you're used to sleeping in your bed, but when you go out to another place and you sleep in someone else's bed, that you're not so comfortable sleeping in that bed because the comfort of your pillow, maybe your blanket, or the gush of air or the air conditioning in your room is not there. It's the same thing with life. You're not comfortable with it because you're not used to the environment we're in, what you see right now. Conquer your anxiety to do something that scares you is just a great way for you to grow. If you want to change your life, you need to begin to live what we call a balanced life. I'm just not talking about work-life balance here. It's something that people have always dreamed about but never really happens in real life. And as we grow older, our physical, emotional, and spiritual state, it changes. It just changes. And it's just natural. However, though, we do have some influence over how we actually nourish our minds and our bodies. And living a balanced and healthy lifestyle will help increase our body's adaptability to physical changes. If you've noticed, and this is actual statistics, that 86% of people, of the most successful people in the world, which is of course the wealthiest people in the world, are all healthy. And it's not by accident that they're healthy. They take care of their bodies very well. What good is it that you have, all these riches with you in the bank and what have you, all these possessions that you have, if you can't really enjoy them? What's the point? If you want to change your life, this is an important thing that you need to ask yourself. Are you confronting your fears? Are you facing your fears enough? Or are you hiding behind something from your fear? It's all too simple to push our anxieties aside and think that, they'll just go away. The anxieties go away. Unfortunately, this is not the case with most people. And, I've talked to a lot of my students with regard to this, and their anxiety levels are at an all-time level just because they're not able to confront their fears. Learn how to master the fears that you have by being able to recognize them at first. Recognizing that you have a fear of something and you know that it's there. It can no longer hold you back. And if you want to transform your life, you're going to have to recognize it and acknowledge it, and then after that, deal with it directly by confronting your fear. My next question for you is, are you accepting yourself? You accept so much people in your life. The question is, are you accepting yourself? Do you accept yourself? What do you think? You are the only one who has the power to transform your life. No one else. No one has the power to transform your life. Even if someone else wants to help you, if you don't want them to help you, then it's useless. You must like yourself in order to make that transformation. It's just not possible. There may be times in your life when you will be rejected, and that's normal. Like, I go to 100 meetings and get rejected 98 out of 100 times, and I'm used to it. Accepting yourself allows you to move forward in life. When you accept yourself and all your flaws and what doesn't make you perfect, that's what's gonna make you unique. That's your unique selling point. Or in retail fashion business, we talk about USP. Have you accepted yourself recently? Next to the last question, if you want to change your life, is that, are you present in this moment? Are you present in this current moment? If you're watching this right now, or you're listening to this in the podcast, are you present in this current moment right now? Are you thinking about this present now, not your past or not what's going to happen in the future? Well, you should. Here's why. Many of us believe that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. I always believe that the grass is greener where you water it. If you're watering your own grass, it'll always be green. It's one thing I learned throughout the years. It's not just jumping from one job to the next, finding whatever's green. It's green where you water it. When we get to the other side of the fence, we frequently discovering that this time it's not the case. There's another problem that happens with it. Our desire to be happy drives us to make those changes in our life. The thing that drives us to make changes in our life is actually our desire, what we want. Be present in this moment. Focus on that moment alone. And lastly, have you discovered the pleasure of learning? Like right now, by being a subscriber to this channel, you're already discovering the pleasure of learning. Like, it's not just, watching someone vlog and talk about their life, yeah, you're entertained and such, but are you learning from it? And that's why most people put in their TV shows, like, oh, what's the learning from all of this? It's supposed to be something that you learned something from what you just read or you just watch and what have you. Each time you learn something new, you obtain greater information, and that information leads to increased confidence. The more you know, actually, to be honest, the more I know when I started reading books, the less I knew about the world. And that's what's great about it, because I want to learn more about it. I used to honestly say, like, yeah, I know that. I know that. I know that. When someone asks me, you know about this? Yeah, I know that. Of course, I know it. But in fact, I don't know about it. So now I'm so happy when I say, you know what? I don't know it, but I'll research about it or I'll find out about it, instead of, being someone that knows everything. Don't we all have that friend that knows everything? When you talk to them and he or she always replies, yeah, I know that. Or in Tagalog, alam ko na yan. In fact, they don't know. They just want to feel like, they know it all. But besides the point, we can become more flexible in various settings that we have by learning new abilities and new skills that are exciting for us and it's pleasurable for us. Like, I would be excited to learn more about marketing, sales, and branding. Those are things that I love to talk about, and the mindset of an entrepreneur. Those are things I love to talk about. If you're an old subscriber of this channel or this podcast, you already know that's one of the things that makes me happy. That's why I read a lot of books when it comes to those. I don't read novels because I don't get pleasure of reading something about something that's entertaining. I mean, there might be lessons in all of those, but it's not intentional for me. Now I like reading books about science and also finance. Those are things that are very interesting for me. You become more flexible in the things that you learn, and you'll be surprised. Like, people say, how did you know about that? You learned about that through what? You'll be surprising a lot of people by the things that you know in terms of something that makes you happy. It also pushes us to think more creatively because our eyes become now more wide open. Our eyes, our minds are now more open than before because of what we've read and what we've seen. And what I'll tell you is this: whatever you're consuming is who you are. So tell me what you consume, and most likely I'll give you an idea of exactly who you are as a person. Those are 10 questions. Well, they're not all questions, but if you want to change your life, those are things you want to ask yourself. And basically, that's all I have for you today. So if you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe to this channel and leave a comment in the comment section down below. And I'll see you again in the next episode. Peace.